Hey now. Oh, son of a bitch. I left the picture up. Drew?
Hey now.
Yep, testing. Your Wi-Fi sucks.
Does it? How do you know?
Because you're going like this.
Oh, that's not good.
I can hear you. You don't look great though. I love the background photo of the drop. Yeah, but your Wi-Fi really sucks.
Uh-oh.
You're
Well, if I need to go off my camera, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. At least we can hear you. Hello everybody. We are I'm obviously the degenerate. This is my buddy Drew, long time friend. Drew, I think I've had you on before and we talked. What did we talk? Did we talk baseball or did we talk?
I think we talked it was right before MLB season last year.
It was before MLB season last year, so we were just talking futures, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Nothing really about the race specifically.
People keep saying 9 p.m. piss stream. No, I am not. I am actually drinking my sleepy time tea right now. Thank you very much. And I will be pissing in about 4.5 hours. Drew, do you ever wake up in the middle of the night to pee?
Usually once.
Oh, you do? You're a
Yes.
consistent middle of the night guy. Okay.
Are you going more than once?
No. Just once.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, more than once would be weird. Are you a sleepy time tea guy?
No, just a melatonin type of guy.
A melatonin type of guy. I was actually a melatonin guy for a little while. And also I did the CBD like sleep spray once. I remember you and I were both doing CBD for like years ago. We
Yeah.
thought everybody did. It was such a big fad. I don't really know if it actually worked, but I was doing the sleep spray and it was working so well. And then when I went to reorder it, it was discontinued. And I was like, oh, that thing probably had some fucking crazy shit in it.
So what I'm surprised about, though, just to talk about that real quick, is how are you able to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, go on your phone, and go back to bed? So if I did that, I don't think I'd be able to go back to sleep.
That's actually a really, really good point. And I will tell you this, I don't go right back to bed. It probably takes me about 15, 20 minutes. But I don't go on my phone and I don't dive in to like Twitter and stuff. I just check some
But
scores.
still, like getting that blue light on your eyes when you're getting up from a sleep state is not good. Like if you listen to any of these like health gurus like Andrew Huberman and all of them, they say that's like literally the worst thing you can do.
My wife right now is like she is always all about no phone right before bed or when you're trying to go to sleep because of the blue light. Although look at my glasses. These are blue light glasses, but you win. By the way, anybody that's in here, I see the chat is why you keep saying I'm him. What did I do, Alec? Did I do something? This music is hitting so hard. Who missed them good old Patrick Corbin days? What's up? Everybody's talking about their baseball bets right now. We are actually
I had the Marlins money line last I saw. It's 4-1. Hopefully they can
there you
hold on.
go. Yeah, Drew, I got to tell you, you text me like one bet a day that you like, and you just say the team's name and the whale emoji.
Yes.
And I feel like you've actually been doing really well.
Yeah, I've been a little hot the past week or so. I'm not going to, get too carried away, but yeah, I've been on a little bit of a hot streak.
Good. All right. Yeah, let's stay humble. But you are, so just to introduce you to everybody, you're a diehard Rays fan. You actually got me to become a Rays fan.
Did I? I didn't realize it was me.
What do you mean? You didn't know that?
I didn't know I was solely responsible for making you a Rays fan.
Okay. Anybody else in our friend group, did they like the Rays?
Not that I could think of.
Okay. Well, you and Rocco Baldelli got me into the Rays.
What is your first Rays memory? Not to get too long-winded, but like going back.
Okay. This one isn't really this is actually crazy because it's not that long ago. But Evan Longoria hitting the home run to get us into the playoffs against the Yankees.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's probably what a lot of people would say for sure.
Yeah. Maybe 11, 12 years ago, right? 12 years ago, 2010.
I have a funny quick Rays story, and then we can get into recent. Is Taylor Green? Do you know him? He comments on all your stuff.
Like on Twitter?
Yes, he went to Brantley.
No, I know who he is. Yes.
Okay, so me and him were pretty big Rays fans going way back in the day. Okay, so going back to like middle school and whatnot. And I remember watching a Rays game at his house where I think they were down by, I don't know, 2 or 3 runs, something like that. It was the bottom of the 9th inning. And I said to him, I said, and then the Rays ended up loading the bases. So it was like 2 outs and they needed to hit a grand slam to win the game, essentially, right? Uh-huh. So I told him, if they hit a grand slam right now, I will walk home naked. And And sure enough, they did. That was like my first Rays memory, probably like, I don't know, 2000. I don't know. I don't even know what year it was. Probably 2003, 4, something like that. Those are
Are
my
you going
first.
to make me ask you if you actually walked home naked?
I did not know.
Okay.
That would have been pretty bad for like a 12-year-old boy to walk home naked. That's like my first Rays memory.
Well, that's actually a much better memory than mine. I also had money on the Rays that game too, and I mean,
Hey, why are people bitching about the strike zone? So I'm getting to see this
hold
comment
on,
here.
hold on, hold on. I know. Yeah, listen. If we start streaming consistently, which we're going to try to do, let me at least set the stage for people. People in the chat are going to fire you up. Just make sure you take it all with a grain of salt. All right.
Oh, I'm not upset about it. I'm
just.
I know.
But before that even get there, just always remember people in the chat love to bitch. I get knifed by 100 motherfuckers every day in the board review. But hold on. We're going to talk Rays. So Drew and I, we talk all the time about Rays stuff. I mean, I think I'm more of a Magic fan than you are. You kind of fell off a little bit, but you're coming back on. But collectively, we can unite on the Rays. And we were talking about how there's diehard fan bases and fans on social media, especially the Gate 14 guys. They kind of are what made me think about this because they're all in on the Blue Jays. And I feel like the Rays kind of need a little bit of this. We need some recognition. We need some people on social media really spreading the love and the word for this team. So that's what Drew and I are going to do. So we're gonna chat, once or twice a week. We're going to talk Rays and the state of the Rays, recap the series and everything. So if you are interested in the Rays, great. If you just like hearing us talk, also great. If you want to use it for betting knowledge in the future, lovely. Whatever you want to do, this is probably going to be something that we're going to stick with. So we're going to try Wednesday nights at 9 after the first series, and then we'll try for Sundays as well. So let's talk about the series that just recapped in LA against the Angels. And let's go to that person's comment. I saw it as well. They're bitching about the ump in today's game. Now, I didn't watch any of it, but I was following it on my phone. I saw we got out to a big lead. We did nothing after we scored 4 runs, but we won. And then I saw the clip of Pete Fairbanks, and I saw Ron Washington get fired up. I had no idea Ron Washington was the manager of the Angels. He kind of just looks funny in an Angels gear, if I'm not going to lie. What, you watched the game?
I mean, I was working, but in and out. Yes, I was watching the game, but I was watching the ending of the game, and like technically those sliders were outside of the strike zone. I don't know, by a hair, but not to the point to be upset about it.
I've seen worse.
Oh yeah, way worse, way worse.
I've seen the Rays get fucked way worse early in this season. It's only been a handful of games.
So I will say overall, the Rays did not necessarily deserve to win today's game. They did not play very well. I mean, they scored 2 of their 4 runs due to a passed ball that the catcher couldn't find. I mean, in all my years of watching baseball, I've never seen 2 runs scored from a passed ball. Have you?
No, and it's funny you say that because when I was looking at the box score, I wanted to see who got credit for the RBIs. Not that I really have anybody, like I bet anybody, but I love this run that Paredes is on. So I was like, oh, maybe Paredes was responsible for those RBIs. And I saw he only had 1. And then on the box score, it said wild pitch, and it went from 0 to 2. And I was like, wait, that can't be right. Who scores 2 runs on a wild pitch? So obviously not having seen the play, I thought like this pitch must have fucking hit the back padding, bounced in the air for 15 seconds.
That's like what the catcher thought. He ran towards the back padding, but it was actually pretty close to him. And then what was so rare about it too was our second guy who scored, Randy. It wasn't like it was a play at the plate. He literally scored standing up. So Rays got kind of lucky today.
Okay, but we'll take that because
I'll take it. And I was really impressed with Zach Littell today because he like definitely did not have his stuff. He was way off. He I think like he barely walks anybody ever, and he walked the bases loaded in the first inning and got out of it without giving up a run, but it got his pitch count up a ton. So he threw 38 pitches in the first inning. But after throwing 38 pitches in the first inning, he still made it into the 5th inning and only gave up 1 run. So he's been great all season. I mean, Littell and Savali are looking like the 2 aces for us this year. Eflin's been a little hit or miss.
Yeah.
And then Peapot, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he pitched really well. Peapot. He pitched really well. So, the starting pitching's was kind of like my biggest concern going into the season, but they've been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The bullpen, I think, has been a little bit of a concern, though. I know you were
Oh
just
yeah,
talking
it's
about
definitely well. I mean, going into the season, the consensus was the only thing that people were for sure the Rays were going to be good at this year was have a strong bullpen, and that's actually been our weakest point. But it's early. I have confidence they're going to turn around, and the bullpen's been good the past really the whole road trip outside of Pete imploding in Colorado. All the other games, the bullpen was fine.
I like this comment. Every AL East team has annoying Twitter fan bases except the Rays.
That's not true. That's not true. I feel like there is a lot of Rays fans on Twitter. Well, I mean, obviously, it's just in my algorithm because I'm a Rays fan. But
Exactly.
but they are out there. We are out there.
Yes, but Drew, this is the whole point of us doing this. They're out there, but you don't ever see them because they don't have anyone to gravitate to, and they don't say anything. I mean, maybe they just comment like one upset word to I always forget this guy's name, Mark Tompkin. For whatever reason, I feel like they think that Mark Tompkin like has it out for the Rays. He's always too negative.
No, he's not. He's fine. The only thing I will say about the few Rays fans that are out there on it, just because I guess the Rays are, that kind of analytical team, is they tweet a lot of extremely nerdy stuff. So we're not going to be doing that. So we're not going to be like getting into like, spin rate and like all these different percentages and spray charts. They get very, very in the weeds. So we won't be doing that.
No, and I mean, look, at the end of the day, Drew is not as prevalent on Twitter, I guess. I don't know if that's the right use of that word, but you've got a lot of shit going on. You got 2 kids, you got a job, but obviously Greg and Steak people know about. Drew is no different. We are not stat nerds. We are not super into analytics. We still respect it, but that's not really our MO or our forte. But I'll give you a little credit. I think you've come around a lot as a sports bettor. I think for a long time you were, as you'd say, probably just very square,
yes,
or donk. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, you've been getting, but I like this. You have tiptoed into being a contrarian. You haven't just gone all in.
No, I don't think I would ever go all in.
Yeah. And that's been my problem actually in the past too. And I get a little too contrarian, but I'm pretty good about learning from my mistakes. I'm not really stubborn. So if something's not working, I'll adapt. But the Rays this year, when it comes to expectations, I was not as high on them as I was last year. Last year, I was in love with the Rays. And
how could you be though? I mean, what other team could still have an over/under of 85 going into the season? No, seriously. I mean, talk about any other team in baseball. Say the Yankees, for example. Let's say their best position player, Aaron Judge, is about to go to a Dominican jail. And then let's say Garrett Cole has to have Tommy John surgery. And then let's say, their number 2 starter, I don't know, is it Stroman right now? Let's say that, he gets traded away. I mean, it's essentially what's happened to the Rays. I mean, Shane McClanahan out for the year, Tyler Glasnow traded away, and Wander Franco going to be going to a Dominican jail, and they still have expectations. What other team could say that?
That's a very good point. I guess if you probably, I don't know if you follow Peter Apple. I always thought it was Appel, but he runs Just Baseball as the company, and they do obviously everything baseball. But he's a very smart sports bettor, very calculated. And I guess what I meant was I was surprised to see a lot of people betting on the Rays this year. And I will tell you this, nobody was really as high on them last year. In fact, guys from VSiN were fading the Rays last year.
Which I think is crazy because going into last season, our starting 5 before we had all the injuries was insane. Between McClanahan, Glasnow, Jeffrey Springs, Drew Rasmus, and Eflin. I think Eflin went into last season as our number 5 starter. How crazy is that?
Wow. So, but everybody was down on the Rays. Not everybody. I guess the perception of the Rays was not high. Now, I was all in on them. And what's funny? I had zero doubts about the pitching. Like, I thought we were going to give up no more than 3 to 4 runs a game. And what I loved was the lineup at that time. The front office didn't really make any moves. So I felt like if they're going to trust the lineup, I'm going to trust the lineup. And I saw some potential in there. But anyways, like you said, all these changes and everything, and they still have expectations, but everybody went from fading the Rays last year to then betting on the Rays. So the VSiN guy who faded them bet on them this year. And then our guy Pete also bet on the Rays, took them as a long shot World Series over win total, and I think to even win the AL East. I was very surprised, and I told him, listen, man, I made the largest bet of my life for a future bet on the Rays last year. I am investing $0 in them this year. I'm not that high on them. But nevertheless, I was still after game.
But also though with MLB playoffs, it's kind of proven to be a little bit like NHL playoffs lately. You just have to get in the tournament.
In.
I mean, someone can fact check me on this, but I think the Diamondbacks had the worst record of all the teams that made the playoffs last year, and they made it all the way to the World Series. And the Rangers were a wild card team, and they won the World Series. So you just have to get into the tournament. So like if the Rays can find a way and scratch their way to 87 to 88 wins and get into the playoffs, you have a chance.
I love it, by the way. First time we're doing this stream talking Rays, and we have a first-time chatter, Adias King. He says, Orioles bang, suck it Rays. See, I like that. We want to attract fans from other teams.
Did the Orioles beat the Red Sox?
I think the game's probably still being played. Wasn't it a night game? They beat them yesterday. I bet on them. They had the third worst record of all time to make it to the World Series. That's crazy. The Rays shortstop being in a Dominican jail doesn't help. Well,
yeah, but Cabby, Jose Caballero, he's been playing his ass off.
Let's talk about that for a second. Oh, they're up 7-5 right now. It's still going. Thank you, Coastal KC. Coastal. Coastal's a longtime follower in Nova Scotia. I'm surprised it's not past your bedtime. So Caballero.
Everybody just calls him Cabby. It's easier that way.
Let's call him Cabby. Jose Caballero. We'll call him Cabby for short. He has so far been probably.
He's been a pleasant surprise. Really, all the new guys have been pleasant surprise.
Well, I mean, not really Rosario.
Well, if you watch the games, he has been very, very close. He has been very, very close to being able to drive some runs, and he's been hitting the ball great. It's just been going directly to people. So I think stuff is going to start dropping again.
Okay, fair enough. You did say that, but Caballero's been awesome. So funny enough, another guy too, one of our followers, he goes by Guy in the Cornfields. He is he's like legitimately a professional sports bettor. He's like late 50s, retired, whatever. I mean, who knows what's real, but I semi-trust the guy. But he dives all the way into baseball, and he'll send me random bets, future bets. And months ago, he sent me fucking Jose Caballero to lead the MLB in stolen bases. It like 25 pays like $5,000. I was like, fuck it. How am I not going to tell this bet? So anytime Caballero does something, he always updates me. He's been caught stealing a handful of times, but I couldn't believe
they're going to be extremely aggressive on the bases, almost to the point where it's going to annoy you. In last night's game, they sent Meade home with 0 outs, and he was originally called out, but they overturned it, and he was called safe. But still, a lot of people were bitching about that. Like, why are you sending a guy when there's 0 outs in the inning? We could have had second and third. It ended up working out because they overturned the call, which I was surprised because, I don't know, it didn't really look that safe to me. But whatever. The Rays have made it. Cash has made it a motto. They're going to be extremely aggressive on the base pass this year. And maybe it's due to them being a little shorthanded right now. They have to create runs when they can.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you real quick. So they are shorthanded. Caballero, was he supposed to be the everyday shortstop?
Not necessarily. No, I think that it was kind of like a competition. With the Mariners, to my knowledge, he was kind of moved around a bit. He didn't necessarily play shortstop every single day. He played some second base. But with the Rays, it was kind of an open competition, and he won it in spring training. But yeah, he's been the everyday shortstop since the beginning of the year.
So our guy last year that kind of filled any position was Vidal Brujan.
God.
Yeah. Oh God is right. You sent me a tweet today.
You know, him and Christian Bethancourt are both on the Marlins, and somebody posted their spray chart. It's completely empty. Neither one has a hit.
He was fucking bad. So when you watch the Rays, you can tell if guys like you can tell guys at the plate, like Rosario, you're saying it's just getting unlucky, but they're working, the hits will come. When you watch certain guys at the plate, you know if they got it or not.
Yeah, Rosario, he's a professional baseball player. Like, I'm not saying he's necessarily like really good or anything like that, but when you watch him, he looks like a professional baseball player.
Brujan?
You know what I mean? No. The other guy you mentioned who's on our team right now, Rosario.
Oh yeah, no. But what I was gonna say, when Brujan was on the team, his at bats were so pathetic. He looks like an athlete, but I was like, I don't think this guy's got it. I didn't mind the Bethancourt pickup when we got him at the time, but I'll tell you what,
He started well, but he faded hard, which, not to get too off subject, but what's crazy about the Rays in all the years that I've been a Rays fan, they have literally never had a good catcher.
No, I know. I actually remember that too.
They've never even had an average catcher.
What about Molina? Remember we had like the
Oh my
third.
God, he was the fucking worst. He was the fucking worst,
What
dude.
was,
He's
who
just like
was
just some fat Hispanic guy who looks like he should, be working at Home Depot or something like that. Not a professional athlete, and he was just terrible. I don't think his batting average was ever above 200, and he was just always there. Like every single time, I was like, okay, this has got to be his last year, and then they would bring him back again. It was just like, oh my God.
He looked like a great time though.
Yeah, definitely a fun guy to go drinking and eat tacos with, but not a good baseball player.
So the Rays win the series in LA. We won the series in Colorado.
Yeah, 4-2. And if Pete didn't implode, we would have went 5-1. But I mean, listen.
Well, you could say that, but we got also pretty lucky to win.
Yeah, it evens out.
It evens out. So we're coming back home right now. I'm looking at the standings of the AL East. The Yankees are the first team to win 10 games. By the way, that was, I believe, 19-1. Boston 7-4, Baltimore 6-4, Tampa 7-6, and then Toronto 6-7 right now. So here's what I can say: it's very young. It's 13 games in, but at least not just only one team is having a really good start. Because God forbid, if the Yankees and let's say the Orioles were off to stellar starts, or let's say even the fluky ass Red Sox who started really well.
Yeah, that's gonna fade away.
No, I know. But when they split the series with the Mariners and then they went to LA, people were like, wow, their pitching rotation's really good. I would be a little concerned. But I love that right now, like it's thick. Everybody's
Well, what have I been telling you? I've been telling you that what do the Rays need to do in April? I've been telling you they just need to go 500 because a lot of help should be coming back in May. A lot of help should be arriving in May. So they just need to keep their head above water. They need to get out of April. I don't know how many games they're going to have in total, but let's just say they've played 30 games by the end of May. They need to be 16-14. Just survive, and a lot of help should be coming in May because Josh Lowe should be coming back. Taj Bradley should be coming back. Jonathan Aranda should be coming back, which is going to be another thing I wanted to bring up to you.
Yep.
Is with all these guys coming back, the Rays are going to have to making difficult decisions on who are they kicking to the curb.
Well, where does Josh Lowe go? Tell me who he's taking.
Well, he primarily plays right field, but he can also play center field.
You can't take Siri.
No. Well, he would never be the everyday center fielder. I'm just saying, like he's like when Siri needs a day off, he could play center field. So Siri has played every single game this season. So we definitely need Josh Lowe back because it's not going to be sustainable for Siri to play every single day.
Who's in right field every day?
It's kind of like a rotation right now. It's kind of just like a rotation of guys. We don't have like a set right fielder.
Well, give me one or two people that are in the rotation.
Oh, man, I don't know who played right field today, but Rosario's been out there. I'm not saying that they would get rid of him. I don't think they would get rid of him, but they're gonna.
Palacios was right field today. He was 2-4.
Okay, well, he had a good day. But I think he would go before Rosario would go because Rosario can play second base. He can play shortstop. I think Palacios would probably go.
Well, where is Aranda playing?
Well, so one thing that might help them with their decision-making, not having to cut somebody or send them to AAA is Brandon Lau, your favorite player, is definitely going to be going on the extended IL. So that will replace a spot. But Brandon Lau, I feel like this is kind of a blessing, him being hurt, because the Rays, for some reason, are in love with this guy. They just will not part ways. So I think this is going to force their hands to saying, okay, goodbye, Brandon Lau. And hopefully Curtis Mead can take reins and just take the job. Because I have been saying, I just want Curtis Mead to play second base every single day. He's young. He's a good prospect. Let him learn. He's not going to get any better unless he plays every single day. And you have to live with his ups and downs of being a young player. That's fine. But when Aranda comes back, he could fill in for Mead when he needs a day or whatever.
Fair enough. Also, he can DH Aranda.
Yeah. So the problem, a lot of people think that when Aranda arrives, that Harold Ramirez is going to leave, and the reason being is because Harold Ramirez and Jonathan Aranda do the same exact thing. Neither are good at fielding. Mm-hmm. They're both good at hitting, and there's not necessarily room for that on an MLB roster for two of those types of players. There just isn't. But I would be very hesitant to get rid of Harold Ramirez, because I understand Aranda has a lot of upside and he's an exciting prospect and he's been killing in a AAA, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, Harold Ramirez hit 300 last year. I think he was the best pinch hitter in all of MLB last season. And he's also regarded as like a really good clubhouse guy. So to just wave goodbye to that for like an unknown prospect who hasn't proved anything, that's a little scary to me.
That is a little scary to me. I every time I'm a big clubhouse guy. Every time the camera pans off and looks at the dugout, that's important to me. When I go to a Rays game, I like to see guys who are in the clubhouse. Like, for example, Willie Adames was not that great when he was on the Rays, but he was an awesome dugout guy. Like, anytime somebody hit home run, he was the fucking first one up straddling, the pole or something, giving high fives. I was upset when we got rid of him for that reason, but I don't really, man, that's going to be tough. That is going to be that's the toughest decision by far. Is what.
And well, here's an even tougher one to throw at you: is when Junior Caminero is ready to be called up.
Oh God, I didn't even really think about that. So
remember in the offseason, we were questioning, like, why would the Rays trade Paredes because he was on the market? Like, remember they were talking about him potentially going to the Mariners. There's trade talks. Well, I mean, the reason being is because he's a third baseman, and that's what Junior Caminero primarily plays.
Well, I got to tell you, the way, and you called this out. You said it maybe a week ago, and I actually bet Isaac Paredes to get an RBI. That was one of my PODs, play the days, right? Whenever after him and Ramirez were off to a terrible start, like 0 for 15 or some shit like that. He was like 2 for 15 himself. He had a day off. He got the RBI. I think he's had a hit every game since. And you called it. You were like, he looks the best to play it out of everybody in the Rays lineup. I don't know that if that's a bat that I even want to consider removing.
No, I mean, listen, the guy hit 31 home runs and had 98 RBIs last season, and he's under 25 years old.
That's unreal.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. The problem the Rays have right now is they have a lot of talented prospects that all play like the same position between Meade, Caminero, Paredes. So I don't know how they're going to figure out Aranda when all these guys are healthy. I don't know how you figure out getting them all in there. It's a good problem to have, like I said, but they may have to, trade one of those guys away to fill a deficiency that they have in other places, such as an outfield or a catcher or a starting pitcher.
Well, I was just going to ask you, would you address the bullpen, or would you think the bullpen?
No, I wouldn't. I would not address the bullpen. No.
Okay. So you would go for a starting pitcher, even with Taj coming back?
I think starting pitching is more of a concern than the bullpen for sure.
Okay, that's fair. So let me ask you this: what's up with Taylor Walls?
So it's funny, like the Rays got like some injury report recently, and like the guy who was like trending in the best direction, of course, was Taylor Walls. Like, one fucking guy that I'm not dying to get back, but he just looks like the type of guy who's probably like rehabbing 24/7 and doing all the right things and yada yada yada. So yeah, I don't know where he fits into things either when he's healthy and ready to go, because he's not going to take Cabby's job.
He played shortstop, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not good. That's not good. Well, and then Brandon Lau plays second base.
Second base, yes.
So yeah, I agree with you. I'd rather have Meade in there every day.
And it's an oblique injury, so he's going to be out a while. I mean, he's going to be gone minimum 6 weeks. And hopefully, by the time those 6 to 8 weeks is up, Meade is just killing it. And it's just like, okay, Brandon, you can go away now.
So yeah, I agree with you. Taylor Walls is also, he's kind of like, he's like a younger, frattier, maybe a little bit more redneck version of Brandon Lau. Like he's Brandon Lau in.
Taylor Walls is a very good defender, though. He's just he's like a good guy to bring in the 6th inning when you got like a 3-run lead and you just want to have excellent defense. You don't care about a guy, striking out or hitting into double plays, but he's just going to provide you excellent defense because he can do that for you.
Right.
He's a good late inning defensive replacement when you're trying to protect the lead. And the Rays value run prevention more than any other team in the league in terms of like their defenders.
When you watch somebody like a basketball player, I used to do this all the time with Jameer Nelson. He would be dribbling out, the shot clock would be going out, and he'd be like, no, because he's about to turn the ball over, or take a really bad shot, and then he makes it, and you go, no, yes. That's kind of what I do with Taylor Walls a lot. I'm like every time I see him, I'm like, no, 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 and then he'll do something great, like hit a fucking walk off. Remember when he hit a walk off, hit the foul pole?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
like he'll do something really good, and I'm like, well, fuck, man, is there really potential with this guy? His name is Brandon Lowe. What am I saying? Lau? Am I saying
okay.
Lau?
He doesn't deserve his name pronounced correctly. The guy's always fucking hurt. And I can't believe he's still on the Rays. Like, I cannot believe they haven't parted ways with this guy. I mean, I know you don't get to watch a ton of Rays games, but at the plate, when he's not doing well, it honestly looks like he's about to start crying at any moment.
I trust me. The games that I do watch, and I see Brandon Lowe, it pains me. The lack of dog in this guy fucking pains me.
His nickname is Dog too.
Oh God. I'm very excited for Josh Lowe, whatever the fuck.
They need him for the Rays to get to where they need to go. Like for them to not just be like a 500 team. Like they need Josh Lowe back. Yes. Because without him back, they're not going anywhere. But if he
wasn't hurt, he would have been. Well, I took Randy to win the MVP. He's not off to a good start this year. No. Hopefully, it's just.
Well, listen, you were excited about him being jacked before the season. I don't know if you remember. I told you I was not.
Yeah.
Just because that just tells me that he's just going to fall in love with just hitting home runs.
You're right.
Which is not what we need from him. I mean, we're totally fine with Randy hitting 15 to 20 home runs, just getting on base a shit ton and slapping the ball around the field. So if you watch the games, he's like swinging out of his shoes and just trying to hit 40 home runs this year, and it's just stupid.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll stop because his batting average. He got a hit today, so maybe it's up to like 220 or something like that, but it ain't looking good.
He's up to 217. He was 1 for 4. I don't know that he's had a game where he's had multiple hits.
It's honestly ever since that home run derby last season, it's completely rotted his brain because his first half of the season last season was excellent because all he cared about was just getting on base. He's a great hitter. But he's just fallen in love with the long ball. And once I saw because I follow him on social media and saw how much weight he was lifting in the off season and getting all big and bulky, like this is not your game. This is not, I don't know. I mean, hopefully I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong and things in a month will stabilize for him. But I don't like the approach he's having at the plate so far this year.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then I'm just looking since April, not counting today's game, but he is batting 143 and he has 1 double. That's it. No other extra base hits, no home runs.
Yandy hasn't been playing well either.
No, he hasn't. He has not.
He was on a 0 for 12 streak. He got a base hit in the first inning to start today's game, but he was on a 0 for 12er. Yeah, I'm really not too worried about Yandy. I think I'm not saying he's going to replicate last season because that's unrealistic. But I think he's going to be fine and get his average back into the high 200s.
I had Yandy under a strikeout as a bet against the Rockies, Gomber, and it was actually a great start. He faced Gomber 3 times and did not strike out. And then the bullpen guy came in. I don't know if you were watching this game. This was when the fuck was it? Friday? Anyways, it doesn't matter. The bullpen guy came out and like the first 2 pitches painted the corner, had Yandy frozen, and he was down 0-2. And I was like, oh no, this motherfucker's going to strike out. And he struck out. So it was very upsetting. All right. Drew, it's 9:36.
Real quick, just from a betting perspective, Sunday, make sure to take the Giants. They will beat the Rays.
Well, no, before we shut down, I want to talk about the series coming up into the weekend. Then we can wrap it up. It's 9:37. And if anybody is in here tuning in, thanks. Appreciate you. We're going to be talking Rays a little bit more often here. And if you care about that, cool. If you don't, that's also cool.
Even if you want to come in and talk shit about the Rays, come on.
Yeah, that's fine. We welcome it all. You can chirp, you can talk shit, you can do whatever. We're not fucking soft. W full-time streamers. No, I don't know about that. W Degen, yes. Degenerate late night stream, yes. Just occasionally to talk a little bit of Rays. That sleepy time tea is hitting right now. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's take a look at what's on deck. So the Rays come back home, and they have, I think, 10 of their next 13 games at the Trop.
So the reason why I was saying, though, I think Sunday we're losing is Sunday, guess who we're going against?
Well, hold on. So we play San Francisco. We are, let's see, it's a 3-game series. So we get a day off. That's nice. We're going Alexander, Pepiot, and Eflin. Oh, so we got Ronaldo Wynn, Logan Webb, and Blake Snell. I just made up.
Snell is going to destroy us Sunday. Do you remember when we played the Padres? I think it was last season. How he pitched against us.
Strikeouts.
Yeah, we better win Friday and Saturday because we ain't winning Sunday.
No, we are not winning Sunday. And, it's unfortunate I didn't bet Snell or ladder him that day. I kind of knew that was coming, but that was pretty rough. I mean, dude, even the Rockies pitcher, Gomber, had 7 strikeouts. His line was 3.5. He had 7 strikeouts through like 4 innings.
Was that the game, though, when the weather was horrendous, or was that one of the other games?
No, that was not. That was not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So, but I want to ask you this. So we got the Giants.
And then I think it's 4 against the Angels again.
And it's 4 at the Angels before we go on the road to the Bronx. I'll be attending that game, and then we get Detroit at home. So you said in April, fast forward through April, you want us to be 500. I'm with you. The Giants are a team that people were pretty high on coming into the season. I don't really give a fuck about the Giants, to be honest with you. I just, in this series coming up, I don't want to get swept. But when we get
they need to win the series. They need to win 2 out of 3.
Okay. You got to win 2 out of 3. But again, Snell is a guaranteed loss. And let's be honest, Webb can beat us. So we have to win. What I'm getting at is we need to win game 1 of this series.
Well, the problem with winning game 1 is we have, I think, Tyler Alexander. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. He's terrible.
Okay. Well, we're going against some guy last name Win.
Yes, it's going to be 2 shit pitchers. I'd be curious to see what the over-under is for that game.
Sandoval, Soriano, Detmers, Canning. Now, Detmers has been very, very good so far. And I got to give Jake Hazen, one of our followers, shout out to that. He called that one. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but I see no reason we can't beat the Angels, at least, again, 2 and 2 at worst. My last question before we shut it down, what are your expectations when the Rays visit the Bronx? They're going against Gil, Cortez, and Rodon.
Well, I mean, that's projecting a little far out, but considering
fine, fair enough.
that's projecting a little far out, but I mean, I don't see why we can't take 2 out of 3 against those guys.
Really?
Yeah. You're scared of that lineup?
You were fucking scared when the Yankees got Juan Soto. I don't want to hear it. I'm not scared of the Yankees, although the 10-2 start does have me a little nervous.
Are they? Is the Marlins game a final? Can you check that for me?
Does anybody know in the chat? Is the Marlins game final? Our buddy here, Drew, has the Marlins money line. That was his play of the night.
Plus 200. See if it hit.
Plus 200. Look at you. Look at you. Let's see. MLB. Oh no, it's 4-2, top of the 9th.
Okay, still got to survive. Still got to survive. Well, listen, before you jump to the Yankee series, let's talk about, just the goal for these 7 games at home. The goal there would be 5-2. That's the goal. If they go 4-3, I'm not going to bitch.
No, dude, 5-2. I still think you're setting the bar too high. 4-3 would be great.
Why is that setting the bar too high? You got 2 teams from California come into the Trop. They're going to be all fucked up from the time zone difference. They're playing in the Trop, a place they're not. When is the last time the San Francisco Giants played in the Trop?
That's actually a really good question.
It's probably been like 10 years. So like I guarantee you, like most people who are on the San Francisco Giants have never even been to St. Pete before.
But my only thing is you're thinking about the teams and geography, which is great. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the pitchers. I don't see us beating Blake Snell, and I don't see us beating Logan Webb. So I'm hoping for 1-2. We can't lose the game with the Alexander's pitching, unfortunately.
So I guess what'll be interesting, though, is Sunday is going against Eflin, right?
Yes.
Eflin. That's gonna be a hell of a game because I think Eflin's due for a bounce back game. So that's gonna be a fun game. I'm not giving that one an L yet. I'm just saying I think Snell's gonna deal. I think our only way
maybe an under first 5.
That wouldn't be very contrarian.
That's okay. Square pays in baseball.
What would be contrarian would be going under Friday night.
Oh,
those 2 shit pitchers. Yeah.
Fuck that. Although that would be pretty fun.
Have a little confidence. The Rays are going to go 5-2. They're going to take 2 out of 3 from the Giants, and they're going to take 3 out of 4 from the Angels, and they're going to be rolling going into the Bronx.
But you just told me you wanted to go 16-14 in April, and your math has us going 7-2 in 9 games. So I'm just saying, if you keep it up,
7-2, 5-2.
Oh, sorry, 5-2.
5-2 rolling into the Bronx. So if we go 5-2 rolling into the Bronx, then we would be
7-4. 7-4 through 11 games.
Huh? We're 7-6 right now.
No, I'm saying from the Giants to the Bronx, by your expectations, we would go through those 11 games and be 7-4.
Okay.
If we no 8-3 because you think we can win 2 of 3. That's what you think.
No, what I'm saying is we're 7-6 right now. Okay.
Okay.
So we're 7-6 right now. So if we go 5-2 over the next 7, then that would make us 12-8.
Shut the fuck up, Hazen. This guy loves chirping the attendance at the Trop. We don't have to get into it right now. We can save that for another time. Drew,
Hey, everybody I know who's gone to Tropicana Field, they say the place is better than they expect. My dad just went to the Trop last weekend. He hasn't been there in 10 years. He said he was completely surprised by how nice it was.
I love to hear that. We went not that long ago. It was renovated, nice hardwood floors out there in the outfield. It was a great time.
You have to make it back to the Trop this year.
I'm going to. We'll get to the Trop. Don't you worry about that.
Yes.
Okay. Good stuff for the Rays.
We'll play it again for Sunday. Hopefully, after the Sunday series, we'll be able to get together and kind of wrap up how the series against the Giants went right after they beat Blake Snell.
Yep.
And yes, great wild card banners. I mean, it's a good photo op. People love going in front of the wild card banners, taking selfies. I recommend anybody make it a destination trip. You know what I mean? Go to the beach, take a picture in front of the wild card, check out the Ray Tank. And if you guys have any suggestions on what to call this segment, we are open to that as well.
Yeah, we need a name for it. Greg said we should call it Gays for Rays.
Hey, by the way, the Rays are playing at Pittsburgh in June.
That would actually be okay. Let's talk about it.
I'm just saying, just to consider it, just throwing it out there. I mean, it looks like an awesome ballpark.
Oh, I'd love to go. I drove through Pittsburgh once. It's a very blue collar city, which I love, but it took my fucking man card like that. All right, we'll look at it. PNC is wicked. Yep. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Drew, thank you. We'll be doing this more often. We're going to aim for Sunday after the Giants series. Hopefully, we are 2-1, 4-2 after that. 4-2. That sounds good.
4-2. Where are you getting 4-2 from?
Well, we got 6 games coming. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3.
Well, but we're going to get together after the Giants series, which is only 3 games.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the Angels. I thought the Angels finished Sunday. Yes, only 3 games. If we win, the
Giants got you all fucked up.
I know. I'm sorry. If we win the Giants series and beat Blake Snell, I will be elated. All right,
what's going to happen? Eflin's going to bounce back. Watch.
I like that. First 5 under. Early lean, first 5 under. It's not contrarian, but we don't give a fuck.
And Friday under. Take the Friday under. We'll go contrarian Friday.
No, don't take the Friday under. Don't take the Friday.
I'm taking the Friday under. Tyler Alexander Masterclass. Book it.
Fuck up. All right. Good night, guys. Have a good night. Thanks
See
for
you
hanging
guys.
out. We'll talk to you Sunday. Peace.
Bye.